Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jake, welcoming you to another Wasted Attention episode. Today's our first ever attempt at an interview, so we'll get to that pretty soon. Got Doug from CSR Collectibles on today. He's going to tell you about what he does, some of the awesome things they do. But first, I'd like to do some corrections and additions. Obviously, last week we did our top 5 horror movies, and I got to say, Animal, you were right. You didn't bring up Cabin in the Woods at all. When you were describing The Evil Dead, you were describing the cabin, and for some reason in my brain, I just immediately went to Cabin in the Woods. So you're not crazy. I was crazy. That's on me, buddy. Other than that, there's a few movies we kind of left out. I kind of wanted to do another episode because we had so much fun doing it. Maybe like a part 2 of our horror movies. But, for now, we got to do a shout out because I forgot Alien. How could I forget Alien? Because I'm an idiot. So I got to give a shout out to that. And The Exorcist, we didn't even mention. Man, there's so many horror movies to cover. It just, who has the time? Am I right? But other than that, I think that's it. Let's get on to Doug. He's going to tell us all the awesome things they do over at CSR Collectibles. So let's get into it.
All right, guys. So what I wanted to talk about is there is a really cool company called CSR Collectibles that I was recently turned on to probably right around the summertime. It was a Facebook ad that had popped up, and my buddy Hector is a huge horror nut, and he screen grabbed it and sent to me because they had the original Michael Myers doing autographs, and it was like super cheap prices. Like you can get like a pop figure for less than $50, personalized, your color, whatever you wanted. So like, this is really fucking cool. Like I've never seen anything like this before. So I looked them up, actually went through with it because, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm going to buy something. And I never do. But this was super awesome. I looked into it. Their website is full of just different actors, like with posters signed, with memorabilia. They document everything that is going on. Like when they actually have like a signing, they like promote the hell out of it on Facebook, like coming in this many days, do this. And on their Instagram story, they actually have like the actors like signing your stuff. So that's pretty sweet. Like you don't know.
That's awesome.
And you can get your stuff authenticated too, which makes you want to trust them a little bit more. But anyways, so I had reached out to this company and got hooked up with a guy named Doug who runs the company with another friend of his, and we have actually him on hold right now. Who knew that was going to happen?
Surprise.
Surprise. What's going on, Doug?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing?
Good. Thanks
Pretty
for
good.
calling into the show, man.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, anytime, man. Anytime anybody's doing something cool, we really want to just try and share it out with as many people as we can. So basically,
Awesome. Thank you.
No, hell yeah. So basically, tell us how this whole thing got started.
Well, off and on, I've been a collector for at least 20-something years, and I always, went around and chased autographs for fun. Like, when I was growing up in South Florida, if a team was playing the Dolphins, I would go to the hotel of the visiting team and try to get autographs and stuff like that. Obviously, after a while, it starts to become expensive. You start getting stuff that, this guy's signing, I don't really need it, but I could sell it. So you start getting extra stuff. Then you start realizing you sell it to help pay for the stuff that you want to collect.
Right.
And then it just becomes kind of like a side business, or that's what it did for me. And then I saw, hey, I could make some money off this. So I was doing on eBay for my eBay account's from 2003 is when it started.
Oh, wow.
But I've actually been doing it longer than that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why the eBay account says 2003, but I know maybe I had another account before that. I'm not sure. But so did that for a while on the side. Moved to Orlando probably around that same time, maybe 15 years ago, and met my current business partner, which is Shoaib. And we started a promotions company. It's actually called CSR Promotions.
Okay.
And we promote music. We promote events. We promote upcoming artists, major artists, mostly hip hop.
Okay.
And we did that for, he's been doing it longer than me, but we teamed up in probably 2006 or 2007.
Okay.
He would know the exact date. He's better with that than me, but We partnered up. We kept running into each other. He was already kind of doing it, and we just, you know, had a common interest, common goals. We worked well together, and boom, we did that for the last like almost 10 years.
Wow.
And we would then, so we'd be connected with a bunch of the artists, and through that, it's kind of like, well, I was getting the autographs already, and he knew a lot of the artists, so it's kind of like, hey, probably easier to get signed since you know them. So we get it signed, we'd start kind of selling it on the side. You know, I already knew how to do that part, so then I would like cut him in, and then I started managing some artists that ended up like, you know, we got him signed to Cash Money Records.
Really?
I
shit.
His name was Kasky. He's still an active artist. He's like the first and only white rapper signed to Cash Money Records. He
No
didn't
way.
really take off like per se nationally, but you know, he's made a career out of it. We parted ways a few years back. But basically Shoaib was like a silent partner with me on that as well.
Huh.
But so once that kind of like ran its course, you know, just typical music business stuff, you know, we were doing the autographs on the side. We decided like, hey, why don't we turn this up? You know, we know how to run businesses. We both like doing this. Why don't we turn it up, start doing some signings and stuff? Let's get a website. And we actually been really selling on eBay for the last couple of years, like together, heavy. But then we started our website this year in June. It really hasn't been that long.
Holy shit.
And we kind of had like all the core values and stuff there already.
Right.
And I couldn't think of a name. He couldn't think of a name. So we just kind of like, he came up with, hey, let's just call it CSR Collectibles. We pretty much took our CSR Promotions logo, and it was blue. We changed it to red, changed the name to Promotions instead of Collectibles.
Huh.
And boom. Because we felt like we are, like, CSR doesn't mean anything to anybody else, but it means something to us, just based on, like, the whole, we've been doing it for 10 years. So it's kind of like, hey, let's just keep running with it. CSR. So that's what we're known as anyways, anyway out here in the music industry. So we kind of flipped it to that. We still do the CSR promotions.
Right.
It's just, it's not really our number one focus anymore. We've pretty much fully transitioned to the CSR Collectibles because it's just taking up so much time.
Wow.
So
that's crazy, man.
I forgot your original question, but
No.
pretty much how we got.
No, you're fine.
That's pretty much how we got started, and like that's kind of where we're at. June, we put in some money. We started a website. We hired a marketing guy.
Yeah.
And you know, we started doing these signings, and little by little, we've been growing. You know, we're trying to get big, but we're trying to stay within our means. So
exactly.
We're trying to like just, you know, keep the customer service A1. That's our most important asset right now.
Yeah.
And then however big we could get from there, you know, it'll come.
That's awesome. You know, it's
stuff.
Yeah, for real. Like just for being around for a couple months, like your guys' website is stacked. On Facebook, you guys have over 8,000 likes. Like that's fucking incredible, man.
Yeah, and the likes are legit. They're hard to get.
Yeah.
Genuine likes. The way we've got a lot of them is by running these contests that we've been running, which, again, you got to like we're giving stuff out to get people to pay attention to us. So it's kind of like, hey, you like our page, you have a chance to win this. And, hey, well, after the contest, a lot of the people unlike the page and they leave. But a lot of people stick around because it's a legit contest. It's legit stuff we're putting out there. And, you know, even if you don't buy autographs, they're kind of cool to look at. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Yeah.
There's plenty of stuff that I've seen in like stores and stuff. I'm like, wow, that looks great. I'm not going to spend $10,000 on it, but I like how it looks. So it's kind of like with our page, we feel the same way. Like, not everyone's going to buy per se, but if you hang around long enough, you're going to find something that you end up wanting or you want to get as a gift for someone or what have you. So we're kind of, you know, in it for the long term in that sense.
Right. And you guys aren't selling the $10,000 bullshit that no one can afford. Your guys' prices are very reasonable.
Yeah, the stuff, we are trying to get like a few Grail things as it goes. Like, unfortunately, as these people pass away, the stuff becomes more expensive and more rare.
Right.
So we're not going out and buying Alfred Hitchcock's autograph and trying to resell it.
Right.
But like, if he was alive today and we got his autograph and he ends up passing away in a couple of years, we're obviously going to have some left, and that'll start to be the higher end stuff as time goes like that.
Right.
But some of the high end stuff we have, we're starting to do some cast pieces and stuff, where we got like all the Michael Myers, all the actors that played Michael Myers, or all the actors that played Jason Voorhees, put them on the same item. Those are a little bit higher in price. They're not $10,000,
Right.
but you know, they get up to almost $1,000. But it's one of those Grail pieces. It's one of those pieces that, like, hey, it's not for everybody, but you know, if you can afford it, you know, it's something everybody wants that's into the stuff.
Yeah, like true fans of like the actual movies and stuff like that, that actually means something to them. It could have been like an experience in their childhood or sometime in their life, and they're just like, you know, that's something I want.
Right, exactly. It's like, it's just something like all the original Jason actors touch this poster and put their mark on it. It's kind of like a cool, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like a cool factor.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, even though you said $1,000, you're for the very beginning client or collector, $1,000, it's more affordable than $10,000.
Yeah,
you know
definitely.
what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a reason.
Well, the beginning collector is probably not going to buy the $1,000 piece,
right?
But $1,000 is a lot of money, but it's not like something that you have to be rich to have. It's something you could kind of save up for.
Right.
We're actually looking into getting like a company. We're actually signing up for it now, but it's like basically a company that will do like layaway. So like, basically, like for that $1,000 piece, let's say, you know, Joe Blow wants it, but he doesn't have 1,000, but he has 100 to put down, and they basically have these plans for them where they'll pay us, and they'll pay us for the whole thing up front, and then they'll charge them. The payments will go to that company, and once it's paid off, the person will get the item mailed out to them.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
I'm not sure the exact details of how it works because, you know, like I said, we're in the process of doing it now. But it's basically a layaway plan, just like, you know, if anyone's ever done layaway before.
Yeah.
They get like, there's a penalty if you're late. There's a percent. That's how that company will make money.
Right.
But overall, it's a cool way to kind of like, if you're not disciplined to save up the $1,000 or $500 or whatever the item is, you could still get it and just pay it off as you can. Like, which is, you know, it's cool.
Oh yeah, and you're not worried about some jackass like sweeping out the product from underneath you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's like people want us to hold product for them, but then it's like we get put in a rough position because they say they're going to pay within X amount of months, and then, you know, we've been holding it for 3 months. They've only sent us like $20, and it's kind of like, do you want to like, you don't want to be rude and be like, hey, well, we're going to keep your $20 and we're not going to give you the item for taking too long, or do you refund them the item? Now you've been putting the item aside for so long, and you know, because this stuff costs us to store. Just because we have it signed and we paid for it, like there's still costs for us to not sell it. You know, every day that goes by.
Yeah, and a potential buyer that wants to pay cash for it might show up one day.
And that's the other thing. Yeah, like we don't just like the stuff that we're selling. Like, believe it or not, it's like some people, man, it's just pure happiness when they open it. It's kind of like a Christmas gift in a way. Like, you know, I'm the type that I like buying stuff off Amazon and eBay, just anything. And I like just like getting it. You know what I mean? It's kind of cool when it arrives.
Right.
It's just like you saw the picture of it, but then you like hold it and you're like, oh, this is cool. It kind of becomes like addicting. Like I'm still on physical CDs. I don't know why. I just like opening them. I like the physical more than the digital. I don't know.
That's all me, man. I'll check stuff out on Spotify, and if I like it, I go out and I kind of support it. I like having it. The booklet and the
book,
CD and everything.
The artwork.
Yes.
Yeah.
100% with you.
That's awesome.
So it's kind of like similar to this. It's like somebody could be having like, let's just say like somebody's having a bad day at work, but like last week they ordered, you know, a signed photo of one of the Michael Myers actors, and let's just say they forgot about it. It's been a few days. It's been rough at work. They get home. There's a package there. They open it, and you know the whole day's changed. Oh man, I forgot about this. This is great. So that's kind of like what we get, the kick we get out of it, like, you know, the messages people send us, the pictures, you know, and it's pretty cool, man. Like, it's pretty refreshing.
Yeah, it makes you feel good.
Yeah, it's kind of like music in that sense because people relate to movies so much. It's, you know, it's kind of
Exactly.
One for one, you know?
Yeah.
Same with the music. It's like you're having a bad day, the song comes on that puts you back in a certain time period.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's kind of the same thing with this stuff. It's like you see the photo, you're like, oh man, I remember when I first saw Friday the 13th, you know, and it puts you back in that place, which is, you know,
Yep.
the main reason, you know, why we do it. We're collectors as well, so we know the feeling. You know what I mean?
For sure. No, I was having a shitty week, and then when I saw that my Nick Castle came, and because I had it personalized, so it's cool to see like two Brandon, like Michael Myers, and like holy
exactly.
shit,
Yeah, that's cool.
awesome.
Yeah,
that's so cool. So you know, you talk about, you know, the Holy Grail pieces. You as a collector, do you have a Holy Grail piece at home?
Yeah. For me, it's not a horror piece, although I do have some cool ones. But it's probably my David Robinson Spurs jersey.
Wow.
I'm a big Spurs fan because of David Robinson. When I was a kid,
Or the general.
just
that's
growing
what it
up,
is.
you know, everybody liked Michael Jordan. I like Michael Jordan, but it was like I wanted to find that guy that, like, at my school I didn't see anybody supporting, but like he was good. You know, he was a role model. So I just picked David Robinson, just kind of out of nowhere. And I just stuck with the Spurs, and then I got lucky, and they got Tim Duncan, and they just, you know, they went on a run for 20 years, and it's kind of easy to like them.
Right.
But I'm still like one of the only Spurs fans that I know out here because it's just not common.
Right.
No one really jumped on their bandwagon like they do the Warriors and stuff because they weren't really like an overly exciting team.
Right.
So this jersey is back. I got it signed when I first started going for autographs back in the late 90s. And it was the first time I met David Robinson. I was nervous because I had liked him so much. And some of these guys, when you meet them, you think they're going to be one way and they're completely opposite. And he actually was everything that I hoped he would be. He signed it, no problem. You know, I got the picture, and I actually kept the jersey since, I want to say, like, 97.
Wow.
So I've had it 20 years. It's framed up. I mean, to be honest, it's not even close to the most expensive item I have, but it's just, to me, it's very valuable, you know, personally. But, like, if you walked in my place, you probably wouldn't pick that out as, like, oh, that's the Holy Grail one. You know what I mean?
Right,
So,
yeah.
kind of to each his own. Another one I have is a Dr. Dre signed Chronic poster.
That's cool.
That's
he made out
badass.
to me. Yeah, and, like, we got it. Me and Shoaib went out to California on a vacation in 2011 because he actually wrote the date on it. I'm looking at it now.
Right.
And we went on vacation, but then one of the days I was like, hey, we'll go around Hollywood, see if we can find anyone. The only thing I brought was this Dr. Dre poster, and I bought, like, my bag of CD covers, like random CD covers in case I ran into anyone.
Yeah.
And I talked to one of the paparazzis. I told them, hey, you know, if you happen to see Dr. Dre, I know out of all these Hollywood people, that's who I need to meet. I gave him my number. The guy actually called me, believe it or not, the same night. And he's like, hey, he's at Boa's Steakhouse. And I was like, where's that? And he's like, Google it. Come here. So I went there. I waited out. Guy actually walked out, had the poster. He signed it. He signed the 2 CDs we had and took pictures with us. And it went great. So that's just one of the things that I like because I've met almost every rapper.
Yeah.
Almost every rapper. But he never really goes anywhere outside of L.A. or New York.
Right.
So, like, I never had the chance to meet him. So it was kind of like one of those things that was just, like, so random, but it you know, it left a lasting impression. So
that's
awesome.
cool. He actually, like, took the time with you guys to do that. A lot, like, I
Yeah,
hate it when I
he's
hear
cool.
that, like,
I was worried about
actors
him.
or celebrities, like, dude, I'm trying to live my life right now. Get out of here.
Exactly,
You know?
yeah. Well, that's the thing. The paparazzis, I was asking him, like, is he cool? And he's like, he's moody. Sometimes he's okay. Sometimes he's not. But you got to remember, they're doing something different than me. They're trying to snap pictures of him walking out of a place.
Yeah.
So I can
Invading
see
his
that
privacy.
being kind of more annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, yeah, he took his time. He was cool. And that's actually the only time I've ever met him.
Wow.
And if I never meet him again, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
If I can meet him again,
on
I'll get,
good
like, a
terms.
vinyl
Yeah.
sign. Yeah. I'll get like a Chronic vinyl signed or something and frame it up. But other than that, I'm happy with that.
I actually saw that vinyl at Target.
The Chronic?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
I was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I was like, oh, holy crap. I wanted to get it, but, you know, I got to save up for Christmas and stuff.
Yeah,
you
all
know?
that stuff, yeah.
So, you know, talking
Yeah.
about, you know, meeting, you know, random celebrities and such, without saying any names, obviously, because of who your clients have, we've worked with. Have you ever had to work with a really just not fun client?
Well, as far as doing actual signings where we like pay them, we sit down and then it's like guaranteed. Okay, you paid for 200 autographs, you're gonna get 200 autographs.
Yeah.
Before that, like I told you, I've been chasing these guys around and like trying to get them for free per se.
Right.
And you got to kind of do it by any means necessary. Like I said, Dr. Dre happened to be at a restaurant. I'm not going to go in there while he's eating, obviously a respect factor.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm waiting outside when he's done eating. So you could be potentially crossing the line.
Right.
But what other chance do I have to meet the guy?
Exactly.
So there's been plenty of situations where I've been chasing, and yeah, I've been let down and I've been disappointed.
Yeah.
As far as paying the people, for the most part, it's been pretty good. You get a couple people that, you think they're going to be a little bit more friendly, but they're not. But at the end of the day, it's business. So, you know what? Hey, I'm not paying them to be my friend. I'm paying them to sign the stuff, and I need to get it how I need to get it.
Right.
So far, so good. One of the things we've been running into lately is some of these guys don't want to do the personalization.
What?
So they don't want to. Cause it's a time thing. You know what I mean? So we're paying them, let's just say 200 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Just call it a round number.
Okay.
We're paying them X amount of dollars for 200 pieces. So they're getting paid for those 200 pieces, whether it takes them 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. They're getting paid the same amount. So in their defense, if I'm them, I want it to be in the least amount of time possible. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because I want to get my money and get out of there. It's not like they don't per se, and most of them don't do it to enjoy it. It's more of a business for them as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So if they can not personalize it to Joe, to Chris, to Mary, it's going to take less time naturally because they're just signing their name. They don't have to think. It's just real simple.
Mm-hmm.
But if they got to stop, all right, this one's to Jennifer. This one's to Bradley. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It does take a few more seconds or so each one.
Yeah, especially with the spelling of names,
kind of adds up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they got to think about it. They got to spell it properly.
Right.
Stuff like that. So, to be honest with you, most of them are cool about it.
That's awesome to hear.
Most of them are just like, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do get a couple of them that they're wanting to not, we don't want to do the signing, so you have to personalize anything. And I'm trying to, explain to them, hey, instead of 200 people waiting in your line at a convention, that's going to take way longer than you signing 200 things for me because I'm not going to waste your time,
asking questions.
I'm not going to overstep each person that walks up, they want to tell a story. Hey, I remember seeing you in this. And
right.
So I'm trying to, you try to convince them that, hey, it's still going to be a lot shorter than meeting 200 people. But at the same time, it's just a matter of if they're going to want to do it or not. Because a lot of them want to meet the people direct if they're going to personalize it. They say, well, if I'm going to personalize, I want to have a personal experience with the person. What I'm trying to tell them is, if the people could go meet you, they would. The service we provide is people in South Dakota that a con doesn't come around them. They don't necessarily have the funds or the means to take off work to travel out to Cincinnati or Atlanta or LA or whatever. We're kind of doing all the dirty work for them. And we're actually helping them out, and we're helping you out because we're still getting them the same service that they would get if they were able to attend the convention.
Right.
But we're doing all the legwork, and we're putting out all the travel funds and stuff like that. So, a lot of them get it. Like I said, there's a couple of them lately that have been like, yeah, we just don't want to do the personalization. See, the thing with our company, we're trying to bring that experience to where, like you said, opening the show, hey, I went on the website. I could pick the color marker.
Yep.
I could get it made out to me. I could get them to write Happy Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to offer that because it is hey, it's a personal item. You're going to hang it up probably forever.
Yep.
And it's you kind of want it how you want it. You know what I mean? Yep. Why should you be forced to just go on my website and I have 3 different photos of this guy and, damn, I kind of like that photo, but I want it in this color marker, but he doesn't have that available. You know what I mean? So it's kind of or I can't get it made out to me because it's already signed.
That's right.
So we like to add that experience to it as possible, but there's going to be certain people, the bigger the actor, the the less likely they're going to want to do all the personalization and stuff
Mm-hmm.
because it's more of like, look, you're lucky I'm even doing this type thing.
Right.
Because, you know, I really don't need the money. I'm just doing it to kind of get a little bit of extra money.
Right.
So it kind of gets into that situation. But, you know, as a company, we'll never paint those pictures of like, oh, this celebrity was terrible to deal with and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Out of respect for the actor, because no one wants to hear that about their favorite actor.
No.
Wants to,
Same with us,
you
man.
know.
Same with us. I can tell you off air some interesting band situations, but no, that's really cool. You know, I had always thought too that your clients would be more happy to personalize something because they're not like, hey, I'm signing this.
It doesn't affect their market.
Yep, exactly. Oh man, I just signed a generic thing. Some asshole's gonna sell this for 3 times something else, and I'm not getting a cent of that.
Right.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I thought the same thing too. But I mean, I see every side of it. Everybody's different. Even the people you meet for free. There are certain guys that'll sign 30 things for free,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's certain people that'll sign nothing, and there's certain people that sign 1. There's certain, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I get it, you know. And it's not always based on how big they are either, man. A lot of these big people, Matt Damon, he'll sign 50 things for you. You know what I mean? Like,
That's awesome.
he's just that type of guy. He doesn't care. But then you get somebody else on his level that'll be like, I'm not even signing 1 for you because you're going to sell it. It's kind of like, you look at it as, you're really worried about me making $50 off you? Like,
Right, yeah, exactly.
But to each his own, though. You know what I mean? As far as it goes, then when you get into the side I'm in now where you're paying a lot of the people,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of don't want them to sign for free because it kind of hurts the value when you pay them for 100, 200 pieces. You go to resell it, and you're competing against people that got the autograph for free. It's kind of like, well, I invested all this money on this trip. You know, I can't sell it for that price because I paid for the autograph, I paid for the plane flight, the hotel, the Uber, the rental car, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I see both sides of it, you know. I just try to, you know, I base it on, you know, what I got into it, and if I can put a low price, I put a low price. If the price seems higher, there's a reason for it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not always a money grab. It's, hey, I flew out to LA and spent $2,000 in travel and only got 1 guy, or I went to Atlanta, drove there, spent $200 in travel because my parents lived there and I didn't have to pay for a hotel, and I got 5 people, so my travel's a lot less on that trip, which means I have less into the product, and you know, at the end of the day, it's a business on our end, but it's also we try not to oversell it as a business. It's more of like it's like a hobby type business. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because
you guys are fans yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Like we don't just do signings. Well, we try not to. I mean, there's always that chance. Like I've never seen this movie, but I know everybody likes it. Let me go do the signing. Yeah, there's always that. But for the most part, I try to do stuff that we like or that we know about because you could get the product, like better product. You can like enjoy it a little bit more. It has the cool factor. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
But then there's some movies you like and you want to do the signing with the guy and either wants too much money, doesn't want to do the signing, or he ends up being a complete jerk, and you're like, oh man, like I really like this. Now I kind of don't like this movie anymore. You know, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of weird.
do you reach out to these guys directly, or do they have their own publicists that you do, or how's that work?
It depends. To be honest, it would be ideal if I could reach out to them directly because you kind of cut out the middleman.
It's the band
But
stuff.
going back to, I didn't get into too much detail about it, but before this, when I managed artists, I would have people either that I know or didn't know that would try to reach out to the artist directly, and me being like the agent, you know, really the manager, but in this case it would be the agent, be like, I'd feel some type of way about it. I'm like, wait, you trying to go around me to get this guy?
Yeah.
Because if he tells me about it, you know, so it's kind of like I respect the business of the agent.
Right.
So if I know the agent, yes, I'm going to go to the agent. If I just see the guy out and about somewhere or at a convention and I don't know who his agent is, I'm going to ask him, hey, what's the contact info?
Right.
If he gives me his direct contact info, then I'm going to go through him. If he directs me to an agent, then I'm going to have to do that. You know, it's really a respect thing.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, yeah, mostly it's agents. There's some agents that most agents have multiple clients. It's not like this guy has his agent, this guy has, it's mostly like the same, like, they have a lot of the same agents or similar agents.
Mm-hmm.
And, like I said, we've only been doing that part of it for about 6 months or so.
Right.
So we're still developing those relationships with the agents and stuff.
Right.
But, so far so good. I feel like we've done a pretty good amount of signings in that short time, and it's only going to go up from here.
For sure. You guys are always promoting something.
Yeah. We also try to, the hard part is trying to get, the clients that everybody else doesn't have.
Right.
Which means they're more rare.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a reason they're rare a lot of times, because people have reached out. They don't want to do the signing. They're too expensive. You can't get a hold of them.
Right.
Whatever. So,
right.
That's kind of our goal this year, to try to find some of the more difficult ones, So and again, we're not at the point where we could just pay, I'm making up this name. I'm not making it up, but Anthony Hopkins, that's a huge actor.
Right.
To be honest with you, I would love to do a signing with him.
Right.
But do you really think that if he hasn't done one by now, he probably doesn't want to do it? Let's just be honest. There's probably somebody with a lot more money than me that's already tried to get a hold of him, and he's turned it down. But if you just think that way the whole time, you'll never find anybody. You'll just say, oh, there, everybody tried them, I guess. So, you try stuff like that, but you can't come at Anthony Hopkins with $10,000. I mean, that's almost a slap in the face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy. And for us, that's
you gotta think about it. What's that to him?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I just seen a thing that Jimmy Workman, the guy who played Pugsley in the Addams Family, yeah, he's finally doing a con, and I see that's getting promoted like crazy. I guess he's one of those guys that's never done it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he's one of the ones that's never done it.
Mm-hmm.
But you would assume, again, this is just me assuming,
right,
that he's still a fairly reasonable price one.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was probably just a matter of getting a hold of him. It was probably tough to get a hold of him, or whatever. But somebody like Anthony Hopkins or Sissy Spacek, those are some of the names that are big horror icons that really don't have signings. And honestly, I think it's just they don't want to do them. I'm sure if you came with a crazy amount of money, somebody would break and bend.
Yep.
But some of them, no matter what, they just don't want to do it. The guy Pennywise, from the new Pennywise.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to do them. You know what I mean?
What was that,
I mean,
Bill
everybody
Skarsgård?
would have done him because, Skarsgård. You got to remember, his family has money. Before he got big, he comes from money.
Yeah.
So sometimes they kind of look at it as, and I respect it too, as much as I do want to pay him and get him. It's he has money, so paying him $50,000, $100,000 to charge his fan, he might look at it as, I don't want to charge my fan.
Right.
At the same time, he's not going to go to the con and do it for free. But
right.
I do respect some of these guys don't want to look like they're taking money from their fans.
Right.
Jamie Lee Curtis is one of the ones that everybody wants.
Mm-hmm.
She did a con in 2012. She did one Horror Hound Weekend in Indianapolis, actually.
Okay.
And she said, there's video on YouTube and stuff. She said this is the only one she's going to do. She's not getting on the convention scene. And she donated all the money to some kind of charity. I think a tragedy or something happened around that time. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I think it was firefighters or something.
Mm-hmm.
But she donated all the money that was brought in to that, which, to me is really respectable and honorable for someone who doesn't want to do those to go and do it.
Right.
But the way it was set up, she was $75 a piece, which is more than fair. But it was also 6 years ago, so it'll probably be more now.
Right.
And you could only get 2 maximum. So you couldn't go up like me, like a dealer. I couldn't go up with 100 things.
Right.
Even if I wanted to pay $75 each one, they were limiting you to 2 because she wanted to get everybody that she could get and she, keep it moving. So,
wow.
I wish she would do another one, but so far she hasn't. She's been pretty firm on it.
Wow, that's crazy, man. That's
she's one of the number ones that everybody wants for horror.
Now, I thought I saw a piece from the new movie. You had a poster with her sign, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think our mutual friend Hector was eyeing that, wasn't he?
Yeah, probably.
He always says.
Yeah, we had a few Jamie Lees because here's the thing. She's not against autographs. She does sign autographs.
Mm-hmm.
She just won't take money for them. Like, she won't do a convention. She won't do a private signing.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, there's people, like I said, that chase autographs around and get them for free, airports, stuff like that.
Right.
So we have some people in LA that do that. So we tell them, hey, whenever you get this person, this person, this person, call us first, give us first shot to buy it.
Wow.
And then we'll buy it off them because they're reputable.
Yeah.
And then we'll get it authenticated by JSA or Beckett before we sell it. You know, that way, you know, it's not us saying it's real.
Yeah.
It's, you know, Beckett, JSA, you know, are you familiar with what those companies are about?
Yeah, they're just, now, I mean, you make sure with these companies, these are reputable companies that match the autographs and make sure that it's not a fake, right? Essentially.
Yeah, they're basically the big three are JSA, which is James Spence Authentication, Beckett, which, you know, if you collected baseball cards and stuff back in the day, they used to have a magazine.
Okay.
Are you familiar with what I'm talking about?
I've heard the name, but I'm not going to say that I know 100%.
Yeah, there was like a price guide. They were like the price guide for like baseball cards back in the 90s and 2000s. I think the magazine's still around. But anyways, they have the authentication company. And then there's PSA DNA, which is another company that they've actually been around the longest out of the three. And those companies are basically what they call third-party authentication companies. Okay. So, like, I just told you, our company just started our website 6 months ago. But before that, like, my name in the autograph community where I'm at is known and respected. But guess what? That's just a small part. You live in Indiana, you don't know who the heck I am. Yep. So that's where these third-party authentications come in and give some validity to my autograph. Wow. So you know what? Yeah, Doug's a great guy. Shoaib's a great guy. But you know what? That thing looks like scribble. How do I know if it's real, you know?
Right.
And that's where everything on our website is authenticated by either JSA, Beckett, or PSA, which means we paid them to put their sticker on there with their sticker has a serial number, and it comes with a little certificate of authenticity card with the same serial number on it. And you basically go on their website, you type in that serial number, and it'll say Jamie Lee Curtis signed 8x10 picture.
Wow.
And
okay, that's cool.
It'll basically they're basically saying their opinion. Now keep this in mind, it is their opinion because they didn't see it get signed.
Right.
They're saying that based on their efforts of authenticating and their expertise, that this is genuine. Now, could they be wrong? Yes, they could. But guess what? You're going to take their word over me, this guy, that guy, her over there, the guy that says he met Jamie Lee Curtis in a restaurant, because they have, like I said, those are the big three in the world as far as reputation.
Wow.
There's also another service that they provide that we utilize on a lot of our signings, which is called Witness. So basically, we'll pay them to be at the signing, and they'll watch, you know, Nick Castle, the original Michael Myers, they'll watch him sign the 200 items, and they'll affix their sticker that actually says Witness on it. So this sticker will be a little bit different. It'll still have a number. It'll still have the card, but it'll basically say this isn't their opinion. They actually saw this one get signed.
Oh,
so
wow.
it still goes based on the company's reputation, because if I tell you I saw it get signed or they tell you they saw it get signed, their name's going to hold more weight. Same difference. If they think it's authentic or I think it's authentic, it's the same difference, but them physically seeing it, to me, is a little bit better than their opinion. And that's where we try to get those for the signings. Now, sometimes it happens where we do the signing, they showed up late or they couldn't make it, or we didn't have enough pieces for them to come to it, or whatever it may be. And then we just get the stuff authenticated right after.
Right.
But for the most part, for the signings, we try to have the witness. It's just, again, man, it's all about, in this business, your reputation.
Right.
Like, we pride ourselves in being very transparent. You know what I mean? That's why I take the time to explain what this stuff is.
Right.
Because I say, all our stuff's JSA and Beckett. And you're like, okay, cool. What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything to you. But if you know about that, like if you go on eBay right now and you want to buy, I'm making this up, but you want to buy Michael Jordan's autograph, you don't know what you're looking at. You think you do.
Right.
Or this one looks good. This looks like what I think is his autograph. But that's where those stickers kind of come in and help. And you're like, you know what? If JSA says this is good, hey, I'm going to take their word for it over the guy on eBay that says he got it himself or what have you.
Right.
Now, that also comes with a price. You know, we're paying for that authentication, which means, you know, we're spending thousands of dollars. And like I said, everything we sell on our site is authenticated already.
Right.
Just to take, hey, I've never heard of CSR. I'm weary about this. I saw a Facebook ad. To take all that out the window, but you know what? It's JSA. You know, I'm gonna go with it. So we pride ourselves on that because we know we haven't been established as CSR for 20 years and everybody in the world knows our name. So, you know, we got nothing to hide. Boom, let's get it all authenticated.
Right.
So, you know, that's something that we're kind of proud of in the sense of we just want to take all the guessing games away because the autograph business, you go watch these documentaries and stuff, there was rings of people selling millions of dollars worth of fake stuff, Mickey Mantles and all this stuff that got busted. That's where these authentication companies came in. So it's a lot harder to sell $1 million worth of fake autographs because if it's not authenticated, people aren't going to pay for it. The other thing is you might buy something off eBay without the authentication. You can send it into JSA, mail it in, you pay them, and they'll tell you if they think it's real or not.
Oh, wow.
If they think it's real, they put the sticker on there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If it's not real, they'll give you a letter saying, hey, this is not genuine, you know, yada, yada, yada. And you can actually use that to get your money back on eBay a lot of the times.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Oh, I never knew that, man. That's crazy.
I mean, we take all that out of it, so you don't even have to worry about it.
Yep.
Because there's always that, oh, man, this looks great. So cheap, too. Let me just get it. And it's kind of like, usually if it's too good to be true, it probably is.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's always that rare chance that somebody found it at Goodwill or their grandfather died. They didn't know what they had. They put it up cheap. There's always that chance. But we don't expect every customer to be an autograph expert.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So we leave the expertise to the autograph experts, which is JSA, Beckett, and stuff like that.
Right.
And we handle our end where, you know, we pride ourselves customer service, fast shipping, clean images, clean, crisp autographs, stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought that Nick Castle on my couch. I didn't have to go out, and I didn't have to spend $60 to get into a con. Another $65 to get it, and then wait in line either. So
did you choose the option for the authentication?
No, I didn't. I didn't because Hector had bought from you before, and so he had said that you guys are great, and I trust Hector, and I'm like, oh hell, let's try it out. So yeah, I didn't even go for that, man. And
yeah, see, like you got that personalized,
right?
So like value-wise, you didn't buy it for like the future value or whatever,
right?
But like, let's just pretend that you bought it and you're like, you know what, I'm not going to get it personalized. You might want to, at that time, add the authentication, that option that we have, because what could happen is you might get a rut, anything could happen, and that authentication sticker will help. Again, God forbid something happened and somebody had to sell it that wasn't you. That sticker will make it more reputable than your sister trying to sell it and saying, I think this is real. He bought it. Oh, he knows what he's doing. You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it just adds value to it in a situation like that. But we also offer, I don't know if you're aware of this, but when we do the signings, we take pictures of every autograph signed.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We actually will send the picture of your exact item being signed to you if you email us after you get the item.
Oh,
so like I still have it,
cool.
believe it or not, on my phone. And you know, after we're done, said and done, if you send me a picture of your autograph, I can find the exact picture of Nick Castle signing it.
Oh, that's awesome!
I can send it to you.
That'd be great.
Yeah. So yeah,
that's awesome.
There's always the off chance that out of the 300 things you signed, your picture was the one that didn't get taken. There's always that off chance, but for the most part, I mean, I'm pretty diligent with that. You know, I sit there and snap a picture of every single thing.
Wow.
So you'll even see like the sticky note on the photo with your government name on it or whatever, and you'll be like, wow, like it's that, because we put sticky notes on everyone once the orders come in, so we know who to get it made out to and stuff.
Right.
So it's pretty cool. Like it's another cool service we offer. The reason we can't send it like as we send it out, because I literally have like 300 small pictures on my phone. Yeah. That like I would have to go through every single one. So I just tell people like, hey, after you get your item, Send me a picture of it in an email, and I'll reply to it with your proof picture. So
That's
I
awesome.
can still do that. You know, like I don't delete them off my phone.
Yeah.
So I still have it.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's pretty
man.
cool. Like
yeah.
sometimes people print up like a 4x6 and hang it up next to it or on the back of the frame or whatever they do with it, you know?
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. That's so badass.
Yeah.
You seem so involved and you talk with such pride and you seem to be so involved with this, not like how Ivan said you guys are fans, you know, but also this is your livelihood, you know?
Well, it's more about being a collector as well.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm an educated collector. I'm not one of the collectors that's like I get so caught up in, I want Anthony Hopkins' autograph, and it looks like it's good. I'm just going to go out on the limb and buy it and just hope everything's good. I'm more like, it's probably fake. Let me make sure 100% it's real. Let me get JSA involved. You know what I mean? So I try to use that to where if I was selling to somebody like me, they couldn't question me at all. They couldn't even be like, well, he might be doing this, or this might not be this. No, you know, boom, this is already authenticated. I have this proof picture of this. You know what I mean? Like, I can't get a proof picture on every single autograph.
Right.
But you'll know. You know what I mean? Like, we won't say we did a signing with Nick Castle, and you never see a trace of it. You know, we have pictures with the guy. We have a video of him saying we did the signing. We have videos of him signing it. We have hundreds of proof pictures of every item. I mean, you know what I mean? Just, I want to take anything that the worst person in the world could try to say about me. I want to be able to eliminate that if I can.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, that totally makes sense.
So
you got to be looking at all the different cons.
That's what it is, man. It's trust.
Right.
You know, it's trust. If you go to a certain grocery store and every time you get home, you notice the milk's expired or the milk expires in 2 days, you lose trust in that store. You're not going to go there anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if they take pride and you know, like, hey, everything I get's fresh, everything's nice, like, you're going to keep spending your money there. And
exactly.
That's, you know.
No, that's true. And I'm
you're
sure.
You're going to tell people, like, you know, like Hector.
Yeah, exactly. Now, with all these, how I had mentioned about, you know, seeing how that dude from the Addams family is coming around, I'm sure you're watching all the cons and stuff, too, for you to, you know, look at potential business clients.
Yeah. So how we do that is basically, so we live in Orlando. There's actually a con out here called Spooky Empire.
Okay.
It's, I want to say smaller. Like, it's not one of the biggest cons, but it's not that small. It's pretty good size. And it's established. It's been going on for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And it's local. So when they do it, at least they've done it, I think, twice since we've been doing our site. But they've been doing it for years. We've gone to it before, but not since we had our site and we're doing signings.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we're doing the signings, when they have it twice a year. So we try to look at who they have, because we don't have any travel costs involved because we're here.
Right.
So that means we could probably provide the autographs cheaper than if we had to fly out to LA or wherever. Plus, the thing I like about when we drive, I can bring bigger items. I don't have to worry about packing it onto a suitcase, TSA getting involved.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I feel a lot more free with the items.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, for example, Charlotte, there's a con out there called Mad Monster Party.
Mm-hmm.
It's in February, the end of February. So, like, I like going I went to that con that was the first con I did a signing at.
Okay.
And I like that because Charlotte's about 7 hours away. Sounds like far to some people,
mm-hmm.
but to me, that's about as far as I'd want to drive.
Right.
Because I can leave at, 9 in the morning and get there, early afternoon. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to like drive overnight or anything crazy. And like I said, I can bring big items. I don't have to pack the stuff as tight. So I'll look at their lineup and I'll say, all right, who's there? And then I'll be like, okay, yeah, we'd like to do this person, this person, this person. Then you got to reach out to the agent. You got to try to find out who the agent is. There's a lot of stuff that's pretty tough to do.
Mm-hmm.
We have some cool associates that other companies that we network with, and I might reach out to one of them and be like, hey, man, do you know who Nev Campbell's agent is?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know. Or, yeah, I just did a signing. Let me connect you with them. And, that's the beauty of it, trying to work with some of our colleagues.
Right.
And, they, we help each other out like that.
Right.
So then I'll reach out to the agent. Hey, I want to do Nev Campbell. How much is she? Oh, she's this price. then I'll take it back to Shuaib or vice versa, and we'll be like, all right, she wants this much. We need to get a minimum of 200 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
That costs this much.
Right.
Who else can we do to try? Like, can we do 2 or 3 signings there to try to cut because the travel cost is going to be there anyway. The more signings we do, the less travel is involved in each individual piece.
Right.
So we try to make it make sense. At the end of the day, if we really want to do the signing, we may go there for just one person.
Wow.
But the reality is, we try to get 2 or 3 if possible.
Right.
Because, like I said, it cuts down that travel.
Mm-hmm.
And we just kind of, I mean, like I said, we do this full time. So it's not like we got to call in work, we got to see this. So it's like, that'll come first and foremost. Okay, boom, we put that in the calendar. And we'll watch it. All right, they have Nev Campbell. Who else do they have? Let's keep our eye on it. You know, we follow them on Facebook, follow them on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And when they announce a new guest, he'll text me, I'll text him. And we'll be like, hey, who do you want to, you want to do him? You want to do her? And then we just kind of put it together. And for the most part, it always works out, like, to where, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Sometimes we thought, hey, we were going to go to Texas Frightmare, but you know what? One of these guests canceled, one of this happened. We're not going to do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But we just kind of play by, I want to say play by ear, but we do plan.
Right.
But, like, for example, the Mad Monster is at the end of February.
Mm-hmm.
So we got time. We want to try to announce the signing and give people at least 3 to 4 weeks to be able to purchase. Because not everybody's got $50 to $100 laying around for something like this. So they might want to save up, you know,
right.
Put a couple dollars from each paycheck aside, whatever. So we want to give people a reasonable amount of time if we can. Sometimes the signing may just fall into our lap. Somebody will reach out to us, hey, I got this guy. Do you want some pieces?
Mm-hmm.
Da-da-da. And then we'll just, okay, yeah, let's do it. But, you know, we try to give it 3 to 4 weeks. And unfortunately, if something happens where the guests have to cancel,
mm-hmm.
that's kind of, we hate that, you know, and I'm sure they do too, but
right.
kind of makes us look bad, but sometimes it's out of our control.
Oh, no, yeah.
We already we reached out to the agent, hey, you know, they canceled. When are they going to do the next one? And then, you know, you're going to have to reach out to your customers accordingly. Us, we'll refund everybody,
mm-hmm.
and we'll let you know when we're going to do it again for sure.
Right.
You know, we don't want to hold people's money.
Right.
Because, you know, that's money they could be using for bills or other memorabilia or whatever they want to do with it. But, you know, that's how it kind of works. And I would just look at all the cons coming up and just try to see what we can do, man. Of course, we want to go to every con, do a signing with every person there, but it's not realistic. You know, we're not at that level yet
mm-hmm.
where we can just, you know, dump, you know, that much money out. So we have to budget accordingly, and we have to be able to give it to people at a price that, you know, we feel comfortable giving it to them at.
Right.
There's a lot of these guests that we feel are overpriced, and it's kind of like, I want to do that name, but,
mm-hmm.
you know, it's going to look crazy when we try to charge this much or whatever, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's the tricky part.
Yeah, that's the business end of it.
And then we actually charge more once it's already signed and we put it on our website.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I'm just making these numbers up, but PJ Souls, you want to get a signed photo from her, it might be $40 if you order it from the pre-sale that we're doing, okay?
Okay.
But after it's signed and everything and the pre-sale's over and we already got all the stuff, it may be on our website for $50. And somebody might be like, I saw the pre-sale for $40. Why are they charging more? Well, now we have more into it because now we literally have the money, all the money laid out. You know what I mean?
Right.
And now that's just sitting there.
Yep.
Sitting there
and
and
anything.
actually costing us more.
Right.
And a lot of people don't understand that. When you're paying for a pre-sale, you're essentially, we're using your money to pay for the autograph. So we actually have less risk involved with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes you feel better about it too.
You know?
Huh.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, a lot of people don't understand, but, you know, we're an open book, man. If somebody wants to ask a question,
mm-hmm.
we don't mind answering it. Now, obviously, we can't get into the details of the finances, but, you know, we don't mind trying to explain how it works to people because, you know, if you understand it, you can appreciate it more.
Yep. And you're a potential repeat customer at that point.
Exactly.
That's cool, man. What about Chicago? I know that Schaumburg out in Chicago does their Days of the Dead, but have you been up out this way?
Shoaib went out last year. He didn't go out to this one that just happened.
Yeah.
But he went out like the one earlier in the year, I think it was.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't personally go.
Yeah.
He with Chicago, he has a cousin that lived out there.
Okay.
So he pretty much, we have a free place to stay, so it kind of cuts the cost down of the expense.
Yeah.
But we didn't go this year. I'm trying to think what. I think it was like in November.
It was. You're
And
absolutely right.
we just did Halloween 40 out in Pasadena.
Right.
You know what that is?
Yep, sure did. Yeah, I was following all that.
We just did that big con out there, and we did a lot of signings, and we spent a lot of money.
Right.
So it was kind of just bad timing.
Right.
And to our benefit, the Days of the Dead in Atlanta that's coming up at the end of January, it got a lot of the same people, to be honest with you.
Oh, really?
It doesn't have all the exacts. Yeah, it's got, Clive Barker, Doug Bradley, the Cenobites.
Mm-hmm.
It's got, I think, Art the Clown. It's got a lot of the same people, which is cool because my parents live outside of Atlanta now.
Uh-huh.
And we got a free place to stay, and then we drive there. So it's like I said, we could bring different stuff that we could bring when we fly.
Oh, that's awesome, man. We'll have to be
So
on
me personally,
Yeah.
I would rather fly because it's quicker,
Right.
but I'd rather drive because I feel like I can get the product there safer and I can bring bigger items and stuff.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
kind of like,
Yeah, you're in
Yeah.
control. You'll have to let us know,
Exactly.
man. We'll be watching for Chicago. We'll definitely have to meet up with you if you come out this way.
oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I think there's another show in Chicago too.
Okay. Yeah, there is.
Forgot
Yeah,
what it's called.
I can't exactly remember what it was, but it's coming. But,
Yeah.
to close this up, man, I told you that we're going to have to do the top 5 horror movies for you, so you got to lay it on us.
Okay.
What
I
do
actually talked to Shoaib about this too. So this is kind of like both of our combined.
Okay.
We're kind of into the more like classic / I don't know. I'll say them. I mean,
Yeah.
do I have to narrow it to 5? Or can I say
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, because that's the podcast, man. For today, it was the top
Okay.
5. Yeah, that's what because we don't want to make it easy. Not saying that top 10 would be easy,
Okay.
but 5 makes you think.
Do I have to put them in order?
Yeah, go with number 5 down to 1 being your best.
All right. I'm going to go with 5.
Mhm.
Scream.
Okay. That didn't make it on our
I'm gonna
list.
go
We were
with-
talking about it. The original, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want me to like talk about each one or just give the list?
No, that's okay. Just give me the list.
All right. So 5 would be Scream.
Okay.
4 would be the original Saw.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
yeah, we
a-
didn't put that
yeah.
on ours. Damn it. Why did I forget that? Okay.
3 would be the original Friday the 13th.
Yep. That was that was one of Ivan's.
2 and 1 are tough for me, but I'm going to go 2, Silence of the Lambs.
Ooh.
And then 1, I'm going to go the original Halloween.
Ah.
I mean, it just withstands the test of time
Yep.
so well,
Yep.
and it spawned so many like things after it
Right.
that as far as like it being, it's just so simple. I mean, I can go on about it, but it's really like crazy. There's like no blood in it, but it was like you don't realize that till you hear that. After.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Kind of like the music. I mean, the music really what makes it. To be honest with you.
Yep.
Yeah, it builds that suspense.
Yep. Well,
I mean, I was born in 1982, so I didn't see it when it came out and stuff.
right.
But like even watching it, I didn't watch it today, but even watching it today,
Mm-hmm.
it still has that factor of like it doesn't look dated. It looks dated in the sense of like it's older,
Mm-hmm.
but like it's a classic, man. It withstands the test of time.
Hell yeah, it does.
Yeah,
The
it still
Silence
does.
of the
It still
Lambs-
has an effect on people today as it did then.
Can I jump in for a second here?
Yeah, exactly.
For my number
The
one,
Silence of the Lambs. was
my
close
number one was
to
The
number one
Thing.
for me.
Is it anywhere on your list at all?
No, to be honest with you, no, it's not.
Oh, see, these guys didn't talk about it either, so
No.
I'm by my lonesome here.
That's one. I think that has like that more cult following, which a lot of movies do.
Mm.
But the Silence of the Lambs for me was close with Halloween. The only reason I can't put it over Halloween
Yeah.
is just like it didn't have as much of an impact on other Friday the 13th was birthed after Halloween. You know what I mean? Like these these movies were birthed after Halloween, kind of like not copycats, but kind of like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Exactly.
Silence of the Lambs, though, just the original.
Right.
I just love the way Anthony Hopkins played that part. Jodie Foster, it's just the Buffalo Bill character, like the movie was pretty flawless to me. I do like the sequels as well, but
right. Random fact about Silence of the
man.
Lambs: after they arrested Buffalo Bill, when they were showing the scene from above the house, that house that was behind his house was one of my relatives' homes.
Really?
Yeah, they were living there at the time. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, I don't remember if it was Lansing, Illinois, or Calumet City.
It was in Calumet City because I used to live in Calumet City and it was a couple blocks away from me.
Yes, awesome. I had you too. Hector wanted me to make sure that he got his top 5 in because I had asked him. He wanted you to know it too. That number 5 for him was Strangeland, 4 was Insidious, 3.
Insidious.
Yep.
I like that scene when that thing was right behind her and the scene changed and it's like right there.
Yeah,
that was good. That was a good shock factor.
Oh yeah. 3 was Candyman, which we didn't mention at all, which was a good one. 2 was Jaws. And 1, just like with us, was Halloween 78, which I know you're not going to be surprised by that.
Yeah, the Jaws. I mean, Jaws is there.
Yeah,
but like, I don't know. Like, it may sound weird. Like, I know it's horror, but I kind of like don't consider it like the same type of horror as like.
I'm in the
other
same
stuff.
boat
It
as
sounds
you.
weird.
I get it. It's that same boat. No, that's
Good
true.
one, no pun
That's true.
intended.
No, that makes totally
I
sense.
don't know. That's just my feeling. Like, I when I was doing the list, I was like, I almost have to put Jaws in there, but I'm like, I don't know. Like when I watch Jaws, I don't know, man. It's a classic for sure, and I like it.
It's like a thriller
It's a
for
great
me.
movie.
Yeah.
It's just different,
Right.
And even Scream, I had I was thinking of maybe not putting in there for some of the same reasons. It was like, but I just liked it at the time because I remember that was one of the ones that when it came out, I saw it in the theater.
Right.
And I just remember, forget it being a horror movie. It was just like a movie that everybody liked. And I was in, I think, 96? So I was probably like in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I was in 8th grade. And it's like something that everybody saw and everybody liked. It's not like just for the horror people. You know what I mean? So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was like a while. I think it had been a while before like a good horror movie come out.
Right.
So it was like one of those where it was like pop. It was like a pop culture horror movie. I don't know, something different about it. I think it just hit me at the right time.
Right.
I had a couple honorable mentions,
Okay.
and I couldn't put them in the top 5.
Okay.
Just because. Well, first of all, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Right.
I love the character of Freddy.
Right.
I don't love the movies as much as I love the character, and
Huh.
the same thing with Child's Play. If that makes any
Interesting.
sense.
Huh.
Good call.
Yeah, that is a good
And I know I might get some flack for that because I just like the way Chucky talks shit. I like the way Freddy talks shit.
Mm-hmm.
But the movies themselves,
Yeah.
The later
I don't know.
movies,
I
right?
like them.
Just became a joke after a while.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like them, but I'm not I don't have to go see them. I don't
Right.
know. So I know those are character-wise they're up there, but they're not in my top 5. And then 2 that I know I'm gonna get flack for, but I just I gotta admit that I really like these 2 movies.
Mm-hmm.
Is Trick or Treat
Oh.
and House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah. Dude, I liked House more.
A lot of people don't like them or they don't consider them classic. but
Right. The
I
way
don't
that
know. I like them, man.
the way that zombie-filled corpses was awesome. It's hard to explain. It's just his style. Like when they were in the murder ride, how they had the 3 different shots of it from just a slightly different angle on Spalding, and that was awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah,
Shit.
to be honest with you, I've heard a lot of people give Rob Zombie a lot of flack, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like people dissect the stuff too literally
Right.
instead of just enjoying the movie or what it is. You know what I mean? Even the new Halloween movie, if we want to go into that,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of went in there with an open mind. I was hoping it was good,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't sure. Because
Right.
you know how it is, man. Obviously, they're trying to make money off the name. You already know that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But at the same time, they're also trying to make a good movie. So I went into it with an open mind. Me personally, without reading anything about it,
Mhm.
I liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But after I read all the stuff, a lot of negative stuff at that, I see why people don't like it. I see why, there's a lot of criticism about certain scenes in there, and I agree with them.  But I try not to dissect it that much. I try to just say, hey, let's be real. There hasn't been a great horror movie in a while. And if there was, if I'm missing one, there was one. You know what I mean?
Right.
It wasn't like there's a good horror movie every 6 months. So it's like, to me, go out and support the damn thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, it made a bunch of money at the box office.
Right.
That's great, because guess what? Maybe they'll start making some more horror movies. Maybe they'll make some better ones. But it's like these movies get rebooted and people don't want to see them because it's a reboot, and the horror fans don't support it. Why is Hollywood going to pour money into horror movies
That's
anymore?
true.
Yeah. They're not.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then one more I want to mention, which is not a classic or anything, but like it was probably the most recent. I guess I'm going to call it a horror movie, but I liked it just as a movie in general. Was Get Out.
Get Out was good.
Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I
haven't
saw
saw
that.
that one,
You
I
ever
think.
seen Get Out?
Yeah, it's good. It's interesting. I liked it.
That was Jordan Peele, right?
Is that considered horror?
I guess it depends on your personal preferences.
Exactly.
To me, with horror, for me, I like the monsters and real gory type shit. So
Right.
I'd probably consider
Like
it
a
more.
certain bad guy?
Yeah.
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 But that's what's cool, because we all had different like criteria for our list as we were talking it out. But yeah, it's definitely an awesome movie.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Well,
man.
when I looked it up online, it said horror. Again, that doesn't really mean anything per se.
Right.
But
I saw a
like
list with
that movie
Gremlins on
could
there.
be-
It's like, really?
yeah, and you know what? I'm a big Gremlins fan.
Oh,
Yeah,
me
I
too.
just can't put it in there because it's not really scary to me.
Yeah.
Right.
So I put it in as like a horror comedy. I definitely consider it somewhat horror, but it is one of my favorite. I'm like big on those 80s movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like I can't put that in there because that's kind of a joke. Top 5 horror movies, you have Gremlins in there, but
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Gremlins. I do like Gremlins. Get Out to me wasn't really per se horror. It's for some reason it's listed on it as online.
I want
But
to
just
say it's
like the
because that's what it
whole
won the Academy Award
psychological
for.
part of it.
Probably to get into specifics.
You know how it is, though. They're gonna call it whatever to try
Yep.
to get that like audience and stuff like that. Probably.
For sure.
Yeah.
And
I
speaking of,
just like the psychological part of the movie. I just thought it was like kind of, I don't want to say genius, but like I didn't see all that coming. Like
Yeah, it was a cool
and the way
take
it all
on everything.
pieced together.
yeah.
I liked how it all. I was definitely a fan of that movie.
Speak-
So I wanted to just shout that out as a more recent movie that was good because let's be real, all the stuff we're naming is old. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
I hear you. Speaking of 80s movies, Ivan had mentioned one for his honorable mentions, and I wanted to see if you saw. What was the name of that movie you were talking about?
Which one? There's a couple.
The with the alien.
Oh, Bad Taste. By
nah,
director
never
Peter
seen it, never
Jackson.
even heard of it.
Yeah, it was a scene that I remember from my childhood. Like there were alien creatures, and like the house that they were in ended up being the spaceship at the end of the movie, and the house just rocketed up into the air, and the aliens in the window flipping them off, and that was like so hilarious to me when I was a kid. It was great.
That's awesome.
And
Did you see the movie The Gate?
The Gate?
No,
Yeah,
I've
it was
never
That
seen
kind of
it.
sounds familiar.
Movie.
I'm thinking of
And it was
Ninth
where,
Gate
like,
with Johnny
The
Depp.
eyeball
me
was in
too.
his hand. The eyeball was in his hand.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
I like
he
that movie.
stab
Like,
it.
it's not a classic or anything, but it was good. Yeah, he stabbed
Yeah,
it glass.
dude.
Like it was kind of like
I'm gonna write that
at the time. I was
down.
like, ugh.
He's writing it down
Yeah,
over
like,
here.
that
for
was one of
sure.
those movies that was just cool back then, but
Yeah,
not really considered
totally
a classic
remember
or
that.
anything. But
That's badass. Well, Doug, man, hey, thanks for your time, man. This was excellent. For everybody that's listening, you guys definitely have to check out CSR Collectibles. They're on Facebook. They have a website, the www.csrcollectibles.com. They also are on Instagram as well. They're not their Snap Stories. I'm messing up 2 platforms here. Their My Stories are really cool. Like how he had mentioned earlier, when he went to Halloween Horror Nights, they were, recording that and, different autographs. Are you guys on Snapchat or Twitter?
to be honest with you, we're not on Snapchat. I think we have a Twitter, but we don't really use it. I think we just got it to have the name.
Okay.
I used to use Twitter a long time ago, but I don't know. Like I can't figure out how to use it for this business, and be entertaining, or I don't know the word. So no, I really don't use it. To be honest, I like Instagram.
Yep.
And Facebook the most.
Hell yeah, man. Well, that's awesome, man. Hey, everybody, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We want to thank Doug for his time, and thanks for checking.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it, man.
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that fun little conversation, our first little interview going on. So hopefully it went well. You guys check out CSR Collectibles. If you're not into the horror movies and signed autographs and all that good stuff, at least hopefully it was fun and interesting just to kind of hear how they kind of came to be, how they do what they do, a little bit behind the scenes. Doug was pretty open with everything he kind of shared with us, as you can tell. So hopefully, no matter what you like or what you're into, you kind of took something away from this episode like we did. So until next week, everybody, have a good one.